So this is a tutorial to walk you through how to complete the 2% credit card spreadsheet. So just a quick introduction when it comes to using Google Sheets or even Excel. These top letters across here, these are called our columns. And so there's columns across the top that are named by letters and rows along the side, which are numbers. So when we talk about a cell, so for example, this cell that's highlighted here, we reference it by the column and then the row. So this is cell B3. So over here, when we look at our notes, these are set to guide us along. For this example, in cell G2, I'm going to go ahead and put the example for this vacation, which is $2,580.20, the cost of it. The intro APR, okay, so the intro APR is 17.49%. So that's the regular APR here. I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And then the intro APR is listed at 0% for 14 months. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in 0%, 0 for 14 months. So just typing that in there. Okay. There we go. All right. And so as I look at that, I'm guiding along here. If you have, so A3, we're going to go into, so first off, we need to go ahead and go into cell D2, right here, this yellow, and put in the balance. And so that's going to be equal is our best friend in Sheets, and it's equal to G2. So I can type G2 or I can go over and select G2 and it will write it in. This is going to go ahead and put that amount in. So if I was to change this, say I just said $260, it would automatically change that in cell D2 because I'm using what's called a reference cell. And so the reference cell is by stating G2. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into row 3. And so I'm going to follow along here in these sets right here that tells us exactly what we're going to type in. So this is the cell that we're going to, and then what we're going to type into that cell, and then the reason why we're going to do that. So I've also listed that up here along the top. So in cell A3, I'm going to type equals A2 plus 1. In cell B3, I'm going to type equals D2. That is my previous balance times 0 divided by 12. And the reason I'm going to do 0 is because I have a 0% APR. Remember, we take our APR, we convert it to a monthly amount. And so I am having a 0% for 14 months. I'm going to go put in 0. The payment then is going to be equal to the balance, D2, times 2%, so 0.02. So for this project, the minimum payment you are making is 2% of what the balance is. So that's going to, for the first month, calculate to $51.60. Now, after that first month's payment, I need to calculate what's my remaining balance. And so that is equal to, so looking here, equal to D2, so the previous month, plus B3, that's the interest, minus the payment that is made. And so that is going to be, leave me a balance with $2,528.60. Okay. Now, following along in the notes, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this row. Okay. So select and highlight so that it's all blue. I'm going to release that. And when I do that, it's going to bring up this little blue box over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this corner here, and then I'm going to roll over it. So if I go and I have a hand, that's not the correct thing. If I have an arrow, not good. I need it to be like a crosshair, like a crosshair, like a plus sign. I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to go ahead and drag this down. And I didn't drag far enough, which is okay. So I'm going to go ahead and drag just a few more down. And in this example, I need to go until my 15th payment. So I went a little too far. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go to my 15th payment because for 14 months, I had 0% APR. On the 15th month, I am now going to start paying my interest. Okay, so I'm going to get charged for that now. And so in this cell, I need it to read equals D16. So that's the previous balance for the previous month. And instead of the 0, I now need to put in my interest rate, which is the 17.49%. I'm going to again calculate that as a decimal, so 0.1749. And then I'm going to divide that by 12 because, again, I need it to be a monthly APR or a monthly percentage rate, not an annual percentage rate. And so when I do that, it now has that my interest for that month is $28.34. My payment is still going to remain the same. And my balance now is $1,934. So what happens is that I am in this cell, remember, we're taking the previous balance, we're going to add in the interest, and then we're going to subtract the payment. And now there's not as big of a gap with my payment because a bunch of my money is now going to the interest. Okay. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these cells, again, highlight them, unclick so that it is highlighted. I can move the mouse around. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the blue corner, grab the box, and I'm going to drag this down for a super long time until until this row right here, column C, okay, the payment amount is just under $15. So I'm not there yet. I'm going to go ahead and freeze this row for us so we can see which column that is. I need to drag this down until this payment is just under $15. We're not there yet. So you just continue to drag. Oh, I found that right here for me on row 193, which is actually payment 191. That's where this payment is just under $15. And now what we're going to do is we're going to switch to $15 because the minimum payment is 2% or $15, whichever is greater. So we're switching to $15, and everyone after that, so again, highlight the row, select and drag, is going to be $15. Okay. Next, I'm going to drag this until the balance just turns negative. So highlight the row, unclick, go to the blue square cross, continue to drag that down. And if you think you're dragging for a long time, you probably are. Notice I went a little too far. I went into the negative. So I'm going to highlight these ones and I'm going to go ahead and delete them. So I want to go until my first negative one. I'm going to delete all of those. Okay. So on the row before the balance goes negative, delete those. And then I need to go to the payment and manually change it so that this balance is 0. Okay. So change cell the row C payment so that the balance is 0. So if you're not sure what that does, just play with some numbers. If I did $10, I owe $9.53. If I do $20, if I did $20 here, I'm in the negative. So that's too much. So again, I'm going to do 10. I notice I still owe $9.53 so that I know that this should be $19.53. And now I am at a balance of 0. All right. And then finally, what we need to answer is how long is it going to take us to pay off the credit card? Okay. I need to go back up to the top and I need to answer these two calculations that are in red. Remember that equals is your friend. Okay. So total paid. What I want to do is I want to say equals the sum and I want to do an open parenthesis. And so sum is adding. And I basically want to add the sum of all my payments. I want to add the sum of this entire row here, all of these payments that I have. So however many those are, I want to add all those up so that that total is going to be in this box. And I didn't go all the way down, but that's what you're going to do. If that gives you a suggested autofill, go ahead and delete that. Again, that's not my total paid. Total paid, so again, is equal to the sum, open parenthesis, and then select all the payments that you made, okay? And then the total interest paid is the sum of our interest. So again, I'll say equals sum, open the parentheses, and the interest column is over here in column B. And so I would select all those cells. Okay, so once you have those answered, then your spreadsheet is done for your 2% and you may submit it.